the trade to enable us have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. And to our coaches and facilitators, Lord, I pray that you also grant them the wisdom. Lord, I pray that this session will be informative, that we will learn more and also discover who we are as we take on this public management leadership course. We thank you, we honor you, we love you, Lord. In the name of Jesus, I've prayed, and in the name of Allah, amen.
Thank you very much for ushering us into the presence of God. I just want to touch base with all of you. I'm still Rachel Emersit. I'm one of the program coordinators for the PML program, and I hope that you've been well and enjoying your ships. I hope that we have representation from every ship. Can we see ship 1? Anybody from ship 1? Great. You're very welcome. Wonderful. Ship 2? Wow, a little more, about 4, 5. Ship 3? Okay, you're representing them. Ship 4? 3. Ship 5? Okay, perhaps they're still on their way. Ship 6? Same. Ship 7? Ship 8? Great. Ship 9? Great. Ship 10? You're welcome. Ship 11? Ship 12? Okay. Ship 13? Ship 14? Ship 15? Ship 16? Wow. He has a special request. Ship 17? Ship 18? Ship 19? Ship 20? Ship 21? Ship 22? Wow. You're taking over the house. Ship 23? Ship 24? Okay. Do we have ship 25? Okay. Thank you so much. And we have ship 26. Anybody in the house? Okay. I know it's a competitive process to get into here, but we thank you so much for dedicating and committing to be with us. I hope the online people can hear us. Can we see some participation in the chat room on which ships are being represented today? I know that many people had other commitments and were not able to join us, but please keep our Saturdays free for this. In the house is our one and only coach and mentor, Mrs. Shalon Mugabe. And can we welcome her with a loud clap? Thank you so much. I would also like to recognize the ambassadors. Franklin ambassadors, please, could you stand up and wave to us? Whoa, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much for the work you're doing in the ships and elsewhere. I would also like to take this opportunity to congratulate all those who graduated. I know we had Law Development Center. There may be other institutions that also had people graduating. Anybody here that we need to congratulate together? Wow. Scaling new heights. Wonderful, wonderful. So I will request Shalon to greet you and have a word for you as we anticipate our presenter for this morning. Shalon, you're welcome.
Good morning, friends. When they said that you clap for me, I strained my ears to hear the clap and I didn't hear it. Now I am requesting for it myself. Good to see you, friends. It is such a pleasure for me to be here. And I would like you to know that for me to be here is a privilege, because many times I don't have opportunity to be physically here, but I have been able to make it this morning, and I am grateful. I am Shalon Mugabe. I am part of the team that Rachel is talking about behind the Public Management and Leadership Program in partnership with the US Embassy. We are the Franklin Institute of Leadership and Public Management. We are interested in developing leadership right from high school to public management levels. And therefore, our focus, we have a two-focus program as Franklin Institute, a high school program that you will be part of once you graduate, and then this, which we call our flagship program. This is essentially for public managers, developing their abilities in the public management space, and also being able to develop others. That is why we exist. We exist to nurture selfless and competent leadership in the public sector. So I'd like to congratulate you upon recognizing the need and making it, one, to the program, but secondly, physically here. A number of you will realize that as time goes by, that is the nature of life. You start high, then along the way, you drop. Now, I would like you to know that in our fourth month, for you to still be going is a special trait. And I can tell you, you will reap the fruit of consistency. You will reap the fruit of consistency. Those who grow are not the kind who start and stop. They are the kind who start and do something small consistently, like being here once a month. Only once. Can you imagine? Like being on the ships online once a week. Small bits. If you notice, the program is not heavy. Do you understand? It is because we would like you to have opportunity to do something small consistently. We are not interested in bombarding you with a lot so that you do not even have the time to put into practice what you are learning. So let me ask, how are the ships going? By show of hands, who is on the iTransform app? All of you are on that app. Now, by the time we come to graduation, friends, there are going to be prizes. I would like you to position your ships competitively. And what are the tenets of those awards and prizes? Participation, attendance, consistency, selflessness. One of our values as Franklin, but also for all the programs that we do, is selflessness. We want to be competent. We want to be selfless. We want to go beyond the question of what is in it for me. Because if there is something in it for my neighbor, for the child in the school, for the people I supervise, for the leaders I report to, then surely there is something in it for me. So we would like you to know, so that you are not taken unawares, that as you do all this, you are going to be doing, we are going to be marking all these, and we will have at our graduation, those prizes given to individuals as well as the ships. These are not something I think that you came for, but we would like to acknowledge performance. We are the kind that want to acknowledge performance. So friends, go ahead and perform. I do believe that you have the schedule that we sent out in the first email. I believe it is time for us, Rachel, to share it again so that it keeps, people keep no understanding, keep tabs on how the program is going, our schedule for the entire year, on which days of the month we are meeting are already indicated in that bulletin, the brochure we shared with you at the start. So please keep it very close, keep it very near, and so that when it is time, so that you know what is going on. You know that now the ships have started meeting. We are going to week 6 of the transformation tables. Can you imagine that that since we last met, 6 weeks are already behind us, doing one small thing consistently. And whatever we do, we don't drop it. It is cumulative. So that when we started with hope, we didn't drop hope when we came to integrity. You don't drop. You simply keep adding. And by the end of the 12 weeks of transformation, you will be surprised what value you will have added to yourself and those around you. And we shared with you at the start that there are certain things, there's a package that we would like you to access. And for you to access that package, we asked you to make a contribution of 100,000 shillings. We didn't want it to be made in the bigger group because action happens in the smaller groups. We want you to connect there. We want you to make lasting relationships there, but we also want you to impact together. That's why if you see every time we are here, they are ambassadors, because we know that the bigger the dream, the more the people that must be part of it. So we put you in those groups for you to nurture each other there and create lasting relationships. Now that is where the management of making that contribution will happen. So your facilitators will give you a code. Each of you has a personalized code, and that code is what you will use on mobile money to make the payment. You don't have to pay cash to anyone. Once you have made it, you will just give it to your facilitator, your table facilitator. So each of you will get your code from your table facilitator, and that facilitator will be the one to coordinate that at that level. Turning to our friends online. You are so dear to me because I am a participant online. Today is that one lucky day when I am here physically to participate in the program. And so I am very, very elated that I'm here to represent you physically. And I know that who knows, next time, as always, I will be online. But I also would like to encourage you, friends online, that when we put out the call for registration for physical attendance, please try and make sure that before the program ends, you've made it to the American Center. There are many more opportunities that you will have and programs you'll have access to here at the center that you may not have if you keep attending just online. But also, the people who will trust you in your cohort are those that have met you. Would you have a relationship with someone online and at the end of it, lend them 10 million shillings online? Would you? If you had 10 million shillings and I asked you to lend it to me, would you? Yes, you would. What's the difference? The physical connection. You are able to read me. You are able to get the things that I hide when I'm online. You are able to put the face to a name and you're able to trust. So connections are hard to make online. That's why the PML will always have a physical element of it. We want the connections to be true, to be real. We want the impact to happen with people that you know, that you have connected with. Today, we are going to be talking about, we are moving on to unlock the leaders' communication toolkit. This will go on until June. When we meet on Saturdays, we will be talking about the communication, the sessions in the communication toolkit. We believe that communication is a key competence for any leader and especially for public managers. So that's what we'll be talking about today. Now, what you do not know about me is that I'm very playful. That even on my report, one day they said she would have performed so well, but she plays too much. And really, this is confidential. Every day I went back home, my mother asked, "Were you rolling in mud?" But I have since changed, at least today. I've since changed and become humble. So I would like to introduce you to that part of me. So I'm going to ask you, push these chairs a little in front. Let's meet at the back. Let's play our mingle game. It is my favorite game. I'd like us to mingle a bit. I'd like us to know one another. And when that ends, I'll give back this microphone to Rachel and Penina. So let's push the chairs to the front. Let's go to the back and mingle. Friends online, I'd like you to mingle this way. Choose someone in the chat room and connect with them. Our friends on YouTube, that may not be possible, but you can actually go on. What you'll do is to introduce yourself and tell us where you are logging in from. So please, on Zoom, choose someone that you can chat with and connect with as many as you can. You will share with us whom you've connected with. And those of you who are on YouTube, I am asking you, please drop it in the chat, in the comments, so that we know where you're logging in from and what you do and what your name is. All right, friends, can we push the chairs to the front? Are you ready? Excellent. Are we ready, friends? Beautiful. And I am starting mingo, mingo. When I say mingo, you will respond with mingo. Mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. But you're excellent. How did you know that that's what we are supposed to do? Do you understand? Did you see what she did? I didn't even have to instruct. So that's part of the exercise. Mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. So now let's move about. Let's do the mingo. Across the room, mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. All right, now listen. I'll be mentioning a number. Please listen, please listen. I'll be mentioning a number. And when I mention that number, it means that you should group up in those numbers. Do you understand? For example, mingo 1. Mingo 2. Mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. Mingo across the room. Mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. Mingo 2. Are there some? All right, friends. Now, Please listen. If we don't spread across the room, it will be hard for us to tell who has not mingled. It will also be hard for us to reward those who have. So let's use the entire room. Let's not remain in one place. Mingo, 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 mingo 3.
Finally.
Are we all in threes? Are we all in threes? All right. So we are going to take it a step further. We will mingle into those numbers that we'll have mentioned. Then we will know each other in that. You understand who is there? Do you understand? That, for example, who is here? Who is here? Between yourselves, who is here? Do you understand? Do you get it? It's not random, friends. Be very strategic. Do you understand? Do you get it? Do you, yes, you copy. Do you copy? Mingo, mingo, mingo across the room. Mingo, mingo, mingo this way. Mingo this side, even that side. Mingo, mingo, mingo 1. Mingo, 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 mingo 2. Mingo, mingo. Wait, friends, did you connect? You didn't. Mingo, mingo, mingo 2. Please use this 30 seconds to know who the person is and what they do. Know as much as you can about them. Mingo, 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 mingo. Make it snappy, make it strategic. Mingo, 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 mingo. Make sure you don't repeat the people you've mingled with. Mingo, mingo, mingo 3. Mingo, 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 mingo to the other side. Mingo, mingo, mingo to this side. Mingo, 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 mingo 5. Timothy, I need my photos out of this session. Timothy, I need photos out of this session. Please. You're very smart today. Beautiful, welcome, welcome. Beautiful, beautiful. So we are doing a game. We are mingling. On the next round, just hear the number and form that number with the people. And your name is? Cleopatra. Cleopatra. Welcome. Mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. Mingo faster. Mingo harder. Mingo 3. Mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. Mingo 7. Mingo 7. Yes, she'll come. I am just going to be. Make it snappy. Make it quick. We can't even. All right, now we are going to make it even more competitive. Mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. Make sure you're not congested. Mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. Mingo 4. I am looking for odd men out. I'm looking for you are 3. Help me, send me the odd men out here. Send me those people who didn't make 4. Please come, please come. Are you all in 4s? All right, all right. Listen, friends, you're going to tell us the number of people you have mingled with since we started. Make it very fast.
Oh my God. Okay, for me, the number.
Friends, this side this time around. So they are telling us the number of people they've mingled with, and there will be a prize for the highest. Not from this, after all of us have gone through this.
Okay, I've mingled with more than 10 people.
Mention them.
The names. Yeah. There is Bonita, there is Sarah, there is
Mention your name, please put your hand up so that we can verify.
There is Bonita, there is, yes, there is Sarah. Then there is Beatrice. Is it Beatrice? Yes. Then there is, yeah. Hajati, your name is.
All right, and your name is?
Sophie.
People, someone has to volunteer to carry this. So she did 3. 30 seconds.
Good morning. I've mingled with more than 15 people. But the names are, there's Joy, there is Joshua, there is... there is Joy, there is Joshua, there is Bonnie. Joy is, yes. There is Joy. No, there is a Joy somewhere. There is Bonnie, there is Joshua, there is Penny, there is, Penny is here. There's not Joy. Why do I remember Joy?
All right. Sarah,
Yes, please.
go ahead. And your name is? Pauline.
Mingled with more than, I think, 15, but let me try to remember. Kevin, Dennis, Pauline, Pauline and Joshua. Yeah, Joshua.
You too.
Doreen.
Okay.
Is
that 5? All right. Well done.
Hi, my name is Oscar. I've mingled with Jojo.
Jojo.
No,
Jojo.
I can't see her. And she's in the red dress. I don't know. And then, okay. I've also mingled with Daniel Shipo, and then Lydia. Yes, and then I've also mingled with Reverend, forgetting the name. Okay, he works with the East African, and then I've also mingled with Geoffrey.
Of course. Of course.
Yes, and then, yeah, those are the ones I remember.
Yes. Well done. Thank you, Oscar. Do you want to appreciate him 3 times? Once. 2 times? 3 times. Yes, sir.
Good morning, team. My name is Geoffrey. I have mingled with many people, but I will start with my friend from Mogadishu, because I have very many friends from Mogadishu. I have Leia. I have Leia. I have Leia.
Who's Leah?
I have Leia, Rachel.
Wait.
Leia, Rachel.
You mingled with Leah?
Yes, I have two of my friends here. I have strong memory of their faces. Here. And also one of my friends here with a very strong memory.
Excellent.
Yes.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Thank you so much. Of these people in this lot, who do you think has taken the prize? Oscar. Oscar, would you please? It is now, there's a tie. Oscar, tell us your names. Just mention the names, and Sarah will also mention the names.
The names, Geoffrey, and then Jojo, and then it's the one in red. She said she's Jojo.
You say you're Jojo?
She's a team leader.
No, she's not Jojo.
Then there is Daniel. Then there is, have I said Geoffrey?
Yes.
And then there is Reverend. We connected is under East African.
All right.
Okay.
You have someone there? It's good. Sarah, quickly.
Kevin. Let me add on Ismail, then Joshua, Doreen, Dennis. Yeah, there were 5. Yeah, Pauline.
Beautiful. Who wins, friends? And it's again. No, guys. Let's hear from the tally. Yes. No, the time is up.
Wonderful lady whose name I didn't had 3 names.
There were 3. I was a witness. Friends, do you remember the integrity lesson? We are keeping it. We are going for that.
Pauline had 4 names. Sarah had 5 names. Oscar had 5.5 names because he baptized someone else. So,
What are Oscar's names? Because Oscar has people.
I have merged those into one because
All right, wonderful. Mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. Mingo, mingo. Mingo 2.
My name is Claude.
Mingo, mingo, mingo four. Welcome. Come. Do we have people who are not in first? Please come, please come, please come. Do we have people who are not in first? Mingo, 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 mingo. Take us through this.
Huh?
You know
Okay, Mingo, 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 Mingo 5. Okay, Mingo, 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 Mingo 2. Okay, let's move. Mango, 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 mango 7. Okay. So continue. Hmm?
Get an old man out who takes over from you.
Huh? Okay.
Someone.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Mingo, 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 mingo Cyril. Mingo, 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 mingo 9. Yeah, I'm giving you time. 3 seconds to go. 2 seconds to go. And I won. Mingo, 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 mingo. Team more time. Okay, we go back in our Mingo 9. Do you still remember our Mingo 9? Okay, I'm giving you some more seconds. Yes, I'm giving you some more seconds.
So friends, this time we are going beyond the name. We are going now to what do you do? No more, no deeper. You'll see how excited you'll get.
Yeah.
Time up. Me who didn't mingle.
I'm Joshua. I work in Uganda. I have two boys, twins. From my salongo.
So let's get to it. Let's get to it. Yeah, mingle. Can we mingle again? I think at this time we know each other. Excellent, mingle, mingle. Mingle, mingle. Mingle back to your seat. You guys, I haven't enjoyed myself like this whole week. Thank you very much. Turn to your left, turn to your right. Let me be sure that you know the person you're seated next to. Friends online would like to hear who you mingled with. Would like to know who you talked to, who you connected with. We also would like to know where you are logging in from. Juliana, do we have some people online connecting? Beautiful, beautiful. So, what was the most surprising thing for you in the mingling exercise? Sorry, name mastery. You tell us your name and then you go ahead. Excellent, excellent. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Annette, my friend. Yeah. Dennis. Yes. Beyond the name. When you go beyond the name, you will actually remember them more than when you just say, Sharon, Kathy, Jojo. But Oscar, I am giving you an award just for baptizing a Jojo. You're winning that. And I like your spirit, Oscar. I like your spirit, friends, that we don't, do you know when you take life very light? It is enjoyable. But do we enjoy our work? As like this. So can we take this vibe to work? Have you ever seen me sweat? Did you know this side of me? You only knew that I have a small voice and I'm very serious. Did you know that part even? But today you do. I look to be. She's fooling me. Excellent. Yes, Josh. You did. Friends, do you want to be sampled? Do you want to be Friends, if you know the talent, the professions that we have here, the connections, you will know that it is in the right place. And so when we say, let's connect, let's come physically, let's meet in the ships, we are giving each other opportunity to dig deeper, to go deeper and more personal. Excellent. What else? Surprise. Yes, my friend. Your name, darling? Kevin. Where are they? Where are they? Which ship is this? You friends, stand up. Which ship is this? My goodness. Who's the facilitator? Rita Francis. You have made her proud and you have made Franklin proud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have to clap for them. Thank you, dear friends. Excellent. What else? Which ship, Josh? Hmm. Yes. Walter, where are you? Excellent. You also ship two. You will have something. Ship two, we have 3 representatives. Jab, your people have made you. You're ship 4. You're 4. Yep. Jab, did you hear that wherever you are? And if you haven't heard it, I've got it for you. Yes, Esther. Tell us, tell us.
Will pull me back, my career and all this. But in number 9, everyone had code 9. Sorry, I had code 3. So they were introducing themselves. I have 3 babies. I have 3 babies. I have 3 babies. And guess what? Me, I had 0 babies. And we also had a Salonga and a Nalongo. So I'm like, okay, I'm in the right place, the right mingo where I know I will have twins, that is some anointing. Then I know I will also have some good number of babies, and I'll also stick on my career. So, and now, being that I was in Mingo 9, I am a proud member of the great Ship 9. Ship 9.
By the way, Timothy doubles as a Haji and a disciple. This is a special group. So Haj Ibra and Apostle Timothy. There's Esther and Agnes. Excellent, excellent, beautiful.
You see?
All right.
3 times 3 times 3.
Esther, you have a good spirit. All right,
Thank
one
you.
more person. Friends, do you know where Sissy is coming from? We could run a competition now. Do you know where she's coming from? Sissy, stand up. Before I tell them, they have to clap for you thunderously until I tell them to stop. Have to clap and clap and clap and now stop. So Sissy, start with, where are you coming from? From Mpiji. You came today?
Wow. Someone was coming from Yombe.
I want to recognize those people. I have to take this photo, this special photo. Please come. Please come. If you come from outside Kampala and Wakiso, please come. Come. Wow. Wow. We are the long distance. Wow. My goodness. So friends, let's stand behind that chair and take this photo. And you guys. All right, friends, thank you very much. Before you go, my dear friends, I'd like you to hear where your friends are coming from. So friends, you're going to say your name, where you came from, and where you go.
Where we came from? Annette Akelo Elaku Okeng. I came from Gulu.
Good morning. Good morning, team. My name,
Yes, came from
yes. My name is Joseph Musabjimana. I volunteer with the Marian Brothers Institute in Yumbe district. Thank you.
Good morning. Yeah, my name is Sophie. I work with ISSD. ISSD is Integrated Seed and Sector Development. I'm a farmer. We are running a project in the highland areas of Uganda. And my region is Chigezi. Though I came from Barara last night because my mom had been sick since beginning of March. So she's a lot better. And I'm supposed to be reporting in the field that's in Kisoro by Monday. So I traveled in the night because of the importance of the physical touch. It is so important to meet everyone. And I feel so proud when the leaders of this program know me. And I'm very proud that everyone knows my name. Thank you.
Okay. Good morning, colleagues. My name is Bala Masood. Yeah, right. Yeah. Bala Masood. Came from Sudan. Yes. No, not today, but as a refugees, and I find the safe shelter is Uganda, and in Uganda the American Center. Thank you so much.
Yeah, good morning, colleagues. Call me Lydia Ikoro. I came from Arua. I work with Oxfam in the refugee operation.
Yes, good morning, everyone. My name is Doreen Nasua. I work in Sironko. So this week I've been in Luwero. Glad to be here. I'm from Ship 2. Where? But I come from Sironko, yes.
Yes, good morning, everyone. I'm Solomon Gamboripai. I am a teacher at 20 Senior Academy, but I spent a night in Seta Mukono. That's where I came from. United Mukono.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Joseph Okino. I've just arrived from Ginger City. I'm working with World Educare Network. I'm in Ship 8. Thank you.
Excellent. Friends, you can go, then Sisi will tell us what she was going to say.
Yeah, mine is a little bit funny. Why I loved the mingling was my first person I mingled with was Reverend. So I felt blessed and I was like, wow, the person inside will be blessed too. And this is my boss, Penny.
We come from far.
It is such a joy to take the microphone from my boss. Sisi is my ship's leader, my ship's facilitator. Ship 17, could I have the hands of ship 17? Oh, what a joy, what a joy. Shall we clap for ship 17? Can we give them a PML clap? Beautiful. One more time. Lovely. Fine. Shall we welcome everyone in ships 1? Hands first, hands first. Hey. Okay, they are well represented by Joshua over there. Shall we give them a PML hand clap? Beautiful. Ships 2. Could we see who is here from ships 2? Oh, wow, wonderful. PML clap for ships 2. And ships 3. Ship 3. Represented by one handsome gentleman in the middle over there. Okay, shall we give him a mean? Okay, I'm sure they are represented online. Wonderful friends online, we are so happy to have you. Last I checked, we had about 91 participants on Zoom. I don't know how many we have on YouTube, but you're all very welcome. We appreciate you, we love you, and we are with you. Maybe not in body, but in spirit. Shall we appreciate ships 3? Ships 4. How many of us are here? Oh, beautiful, beautiful. Shall we give them a PML welcome? Ships 5. Representatives of ships 5. Okay, ships 5 online, can you post ships 5? And now ships 6. Or shall we appreciate ships 5 just to encourage them to be here next time? Or we withhold our appreciation so they can come next time. Okay, let's, you're wise. Ship 6. Ship 6, any representatives? Oh, we moved to ship 9. Esther. Okay, 7, ship 7. Wonderful. Someone requested me to introduce the wonderful Reverend. His name, friends, rhymes with fantastic. If you can say fantastic, you know the Reverend's name. He is Elephantus. He has a large presence. I don't know if it is the presence of the Holy Spirit or the presence. Anyway, he is Reverend Elephantus. I hope I said it correctly, sir. Lovely. Shall we appreciate ships 7? Wonderful. Ships 8. Wow. It has only gentlemen. It is wonderful to see you, gentlemen, because you know that the statistics coming from academia, at least, shows that our gender parity is now leaning towards ladies more. We have more ladies than gentlemen in the academia, at least. Going by Makerere's last graduation, I think we had 56-44 ladies to gents. So it's wonderful to have you, gentlemen. Shall we appreciate ship 8? Finally, Esther, shall you stand up and introduce your ship 9? Where are the other members of ship 9? Okay, ship 9 is self-contained. We're represented by Esther. Shall we appreciate them? Oh, we're 9? Oh, there's another member of ship 9. She's shy and you're representing her. Wonderful. Ship 10. Ship 10, we have, oh, the glorious, beautiful, smart lady over here. Okay, 10, does she have a friend? Online. Oh, she has checked, they're all online. Ship 10, shall we appreciate them? Ship 11. Wonderful. Ship 12. Ah, 13. 14. Just a minute. 14. 14. Ah, so we are stopping right there. Shall we appreciate 10, 11, 12, and 13? Thunderous. Wonderful. 15. 15. Ah, Sophie. She's ably representing 15. 16. Wonderful. 17. The great 17. We have to stop there. It is a place we have to stop. Shall we appreciate 15, 16, and 17? 18. Oh, lovely. 19. Ah, 20. But 19 has a number of people representing it. You have done wonderful mobilization. Thank you for coming physically. Okay, shall we appreciate 18, 19, and 20? 21. Ship 21. Ah. Ship 21, we appreciate you. Thank you for coming, for being online. Please make an... Okay, 22. Oh, wonderful. You have done wonderful mobilization. 23. 20. Oh, 24. There, friends. 25. 25. Oh, Judith over there. And do we have anyone from 26? Okay, shall we appreciate 21, 22, 23, and 24 and 25? Thunderous. Lovely, lovely. Friends, it is that time of day, that time of our event. I think the Reverend wants to deliver a message from the Holy Spirit. I am coming to you, sir. And then we can move on.
Thank you so much. Good morning, everyone. I just thought of appreciating one group, Ship 17. Ship 17, they have a good synergy. They're sitting together and they're in uniform.
Thank you for pointing it out, Reverend. We told each other that today is black and white day. Some of us are in stripes, some of us are in block black and white. Okay. Hey, it is actually blue, I'm ashamed. As I wait to be reconnected, I don't know if the people online can hear me. Thank you, Michelle. Ah, I sound even louder and better. Wouldn't you agree? Thank you for being kind. It is that time of day, friends, when we get a little more serious. Not to say that the person that's coming is all seriousness. She is lots of fun, but she is here to equip us. Friends, today we are going to be looking at that wonderful topic, professional writing skills for public managers. The person that I'm about to introduce to you is someone that I met severally in so many conversations before I ever got a chance to meet her physically. Everyone that wanted to tell a story about impactful people in parliament that are no longer there, but are flying high, that spread their wings and started to fly. Anyone that wanted to talk about how there's better life outside parliament employment mentioned a name, and I longed to meet this person. I kept thinking to myself, surely, if she can be quoted by so many people as having made it in life, as having spread her wings and started to fly even higher than this country has to offer, I need to meet this person. And when I met her, friends, I was not disappointed. I am looking forward today to drinking from the deep well of her knowledge. She is a doctor. Not the one that administers injections, but the one that cures ignorance. Friends, welcome with me, Dr. Anne Mogonga.
Thank you, Penny. Don't listen to everything that she's told you. Do you believe her? Good morning. I'm privileged to be here. I've been here a few times over the last few years, and the groups have been growing. I think this is the biggest group that you have, Shalon, this year. You are a part of a privileged group of people that are learning to be public managers. Because in Uganda, we need to see some change in our public spaces, isn't it? And we have to be the change that we desire to see. Are we going to be the change that we desire to see? Okay. I am a few things professionally, but I'm also a teacher. So today I'm going to be a teacher. I'm a few things professionally and in my private life, but today I'm going to be your teacher. I suggest that we make it as interactive as possible. Feel free to interrupt me where you need me to stop. Feel free to ask questions. I know adult learning is not easy. I did a bit of adult learning in the past few years myself, and it wasn't easy. One of the hardest things for me to do was statistics. Is there a statistician in the room? I respect you people. When I grow up, I want to be a statistician. That was the hardest thing for me to do, statistics. But now I think I have a little hang of it, Rachel. I can teach you a few things. We'll talk later. Shall we start? Yes, we're going to talk about professional writing, skills for public managers, okay? I'm going to take about, how much time do I have? Penny, how much time do I have? In case I don't, please stop me. Penny, in case I don't keep it in 1 hour, please stop me. You know, teachers, we don't stop talking. Teachers and mothers. My kids say I talk a lot. You shouldn't believe them. So we're going to talk about professional writing for public managers. Do you know that we're all writers? How many WhatsApp messages have you sent this morning? 20? 18? So many of them. How many WhatsApp groups do you belong to? How many WhatsApp groups do you hope to exit? I hope you don't exit any of the ship's WhatsApp groups. But we're all writers, aren't we? We're all called upon to write something either in a private life or in a public life. But let's take the next 1 hour to see how we can become better writers professionally, okay? We're going to have our presentation in that's the overview of it. We'll talk briefly about the purpose, the objectives of writing, the goals, the challenges, and how we can overcome the challenges that we find in our professional writing. Each of you has come across an official document in the last 1-2 days. So you can add to those examples. What are the examples of professional documents that you come across? Meeting minutes, memos, offer letters, appointment letters, proposals. What's not up here? Press briefs. Are you a journalist? In the media. I was a journalist in my past life. That's why I'm asking. I don't believe you. Yes, please. You are also a journalist. Okay, we have something in common. I love writing. I love writing. I love reading. I love editing. But we all come across very many official documents in our lives, isn't it? And you'd want that document that you come across to be well written. You want the person to make the point very clearly without wasting your time. Even the report that you're sending, you want the people to look out for your report and say, you know, we're going for this meeting with this group of people from whichever ministry. Can we have Shalom to come and take our minutes? And someone will say, Anne is available. And they'll say, please don't call Anne. The last time she wrote the minutes, we had to do them all over again. Everything was upside down. She even included the tea breaks that we took. So you want to be professional in the way that you present the various documents. You can add to that list. It's endless. Let's look at the purpose of writing professionally. Why do we write professionally? There's a reason that you're sending out that document. There's a reason that you're writing that court decision. There's a reason you're writing that audit report, that annual report, that story for a journalist, that proposal that you're asking money for, isn't it? You don't just wake up and write, even if it's a WhatsApp message. You don't just wake up and write. There is a reason that you're writing. So ask yourself, why are you writing this document? Why are you writing this message? Why are you writing this email? And I'm asking you that you reflect your respect for the audience when you're writing. Respect the other person's time, respect their professionalism, respect the person that is going to receive the message that you're going to send out. Before you send out that email, you don't have to like that person, but you have to respect them because they're going to take time away from everything else that they're doing. Some people look at emails first thing in the morning and respond to them. I wouldn't advise that because it takes away a lot of your time. But respect the person that is going to receive the message that you're sending out. Then also sustain the personal or the organization brand. I'm sure all the organizations that you're representing here have a certain brand that you need to sustain. What are the organizations that are represented here? Wells of Hope Ministries, Watoto Church, Oxfam, Church Aid, sorry, F&M Safaris, ICRC, sorry. Okay.
We have
So-
World Educare Network.
World Educare Network and online? Online? So if you think of an organization, you think of a brand, isn't it? When you think of American Center, something comes to mind, isn't it? When you're thinking of the Red Cross, something comes to mind. When you think Watoto Church, something comes to mind. When you think of the organization that you're working for, something comes to mind. When you think of Parliament, something comes to mind. The ones we have online is Repair the Earth, we have Oweso, we have Rays of Hope, Hospice Ginger, Standard Chartered, Ministry of Health, and the list goes on. So when you hear Rays of Hope Hospice, what comes to mind? Sick people. When you hear Standard Chartered Bank, what comes to mind? Money. Would you like to receive an audit report from Standard Chartered Bank when the numbers are not adding up? What would come to mind if you received an audit report from Standard Chartered Bank and the numbers are not adding up? Something is not correct. Someone says corruption. Many things come to mind if things are not adding up, okay? So when you're sending out a message, you're actually representing your brand. And this brand does not necessarily have to be organizational. It can also be personal. There are people that I like to receive messages from. And there are people that I know you receive WhatsApp messages from and you don't read them. Isn't it? The forwarded messages. You know, Shalon will just be forwarding things, so I'll not read her messages. Or she doesn't write well, but I know she writes very well. So your personal brand is something that you're also doing what? Upholding in your writing. You want to be the person in your organization that people are running to because your personal brand is outstanding, okay? Then we write to elevate the communicators above others. The professionalism that you have should reflect in your writing. If you are a procurement professional, it should reflect in your writing. If you are a medical doctor, it should reflect in your writing. I'm not saying that you have to put all the jargon there, but it should reflect. When an accountant writes, we can tell. When a journalist writes, we can tell. When a procurement person writes, we can tell. Because when we need a procurement report, we'll go to the procurement person, isn't it? But you imagine if you get a procurement report that looks like the storekeeper's report. So your professionalism should reflect in your writing. Take care of your grammar. I'm not going to teach you grammar. I teach grammar in kindergarten, so I'll not teach it here. Yes, that's true. I teach kindergarten. Among the things that I do. So we've looked at the why of writing. Now let's look at the what of writing. What does writing do for us? Writing enables us to do a number of things. We can go through our professional work, speaking, talking, but we cannot do away with writing. I'm sure you know that. You cannot do away with sending those minutes. You cannot do away with sending that grant report. You cannot do away with sending your annual report. You cannot do away with writing the Hansard for those that are in Parliament. Penny, we still have to do the Hansard. We cannot run away from writing in our professional life. Isn't that true? Because even when you go to your boss and you tell them, I need this and this and this in the next financial year, I'll need a new desk, I need a new computer, what will they tell you? Put it in writing. But if you just write and say you need a computer chair, you and I know you will get something that you really didn't ask for, isn't it? So you have to be detailed. What type of computer chair do you need? Do you have a back problem? Do you need one that you can adjust and work at a higher table, etc.? So we can't run away from writing. What does writing do for us? It enhances our productivity, but it also frees you to focus on other things. That is if you're writing well. If you write well, it enhances your productivity. You don't want to write that annual report 10 times. You want to write it once or twice, or maybe have someone outside of the organization look at it, and you're done with it. Do you know those documents that go around an institution, and for 3 months, everyone comes to a standstill because of this grant application? It moves from accounts to procurement to stores and everyone's life becomes terrible because of this one document that wasn't written well. So let's write well. That will enhance our productivity. When you write well, you get results for yourself and for your customers. When you write well, you increase your credibility, isn't it? Even if you're applying for a job, many of us have applied for jobs. And for those that have looked at people's application letters and resumes, I'm sure the one that stands out is the one that is written well. Even for PML, you are here because you wrote a good application that stood out. For PML, clap for yourselves. Writing also improves your confidence. When you write, the more you write, the more confident you become. So I encourage you to write and to write often. Who here is a golf fan? A fan of golf? Anyone online? A fan of golf? You're still making money for that. When you grow up, you become a golfer. Goals are achievable. Anyone online who is a golfing fan? No one yet. Do we know what Tiger Woods said about luck? Luck favors the prepared. Was that Tiger Woods? One time Tiger Woods was asked, don't you think you're making it this well because you're lucky? And his response was, the more you practice, the luckier you become. Why did he say that? He just didn't want to tell this person that luck had little to do with it. It was about practice. He said, the more you practice, the luckier you become. In my opinion, he was actually saying, no, I'm not lucky. I put in the hard work. So if you want to be a good writer, what do? Practice. Put in the hard work. Then good writing will also help you send the right message. It's very easy for a message to be misunderstood if you haven't written it well. It's very easy for you to miscommunicate if you haven't written well. If you want to tell your message rightly and avoid ambiguity, it's better that you write well. How do we write? How do we write? Or how do we achieve the objective of being good professional writers? We do three things. One, we focus on the reader as a customer that we need to serve and serve them well. We focus on the customer. We focus on the reader as a customer that we're serving, and we need to serve them well. In everything that we do, whether we're in hospice, or we're in Watoto, or we're in the World Bank, or in the Ministry of Health, in everything that you do you know that you're solving a problem? Do you know that you're solving a problem? Exactly. Whatever it is that you're doing, you're solving a problem. Whether you're in a travel agency, you're solving a problem. Even if someone comes to you in a travel agency and tells you they want to go for their honeymoon, they're going to go and have fun, isn't it? But they still have a problem. They probably don't know where to go, how much it's going to cost them, how to get that visa, how to get that airline ticket, how to book that room. So you're actually solving a problem. So when you're writing, focus on the reader as a customer that you need to serve well. When you're sending that WhatsApp message, focus on the person who is receiving it as someone that you need to serve well. When you're writing that annual report, when you're writing that audit report, when you're writing that grant proposal, make sure that your boss is getting a well-written grant proposal. Why are you writing something that is going to be looked at by 10 other people? I'm not saying 10 other people to approve, but 10 other people to correct. Are you solving a problem? You're creating a problem. So every time you write, think that you need to solve a problem. Develop quality writing standards. I'm aware that most institutions have writing guidelines. When I was in the newspaper, we used to have writing, I've forgotten what it's called, writing style. We used to have a writing style when I used to work with Monitor 100 years ago. Yes. We used to have a writing style, and if you didn't adhere to it, my editor was Charles Onyangobo at the time, and if you gave him a poorly written article, you were in trouble. Because we had a writing style that you had to follow. So if you had given him a poorly written article, he would throw it back to you. And if you handed in a poorly written article, it wouldn't be published. So it's a cycle of you wasting your time and you wasting other people's time. In the Hansard, we had the Hansard style guide. I was with the Hansard 50 years ago. We had the Hansard style. For those that are in academia, we have the AP style and many others. And the American style, what's the American style called for scholarly articles? There's an AP style, there's an APA style, and the American one is called the Harvard something style. We'll find it out. You imagine if you're doing your master's or your PhD or your whatever at the university and you do not write in the style that's prescribed, what happens? Exactly. So stick to writing standards. And you can do the same for yourself. Even if it's not there in your organization, even if it's not there, you can develop some standards, half a page. And you say our documents are in Times New Roman font size 12, 1.5. This is we use American English or British English, and then you stick to that. Keep it simple, keep it clear, so that you all know what you're working towards in the organization. Even for yourself, you can set standards for yourself to the extent that people know when they receive a document from you, They don't have to send it to somebody else to look at it because you've done a good job. Make use of effective processes and available tools. There are so many tools right now that you can use when you're writing. There are so many online tools. There are so many searches. One of them is Grammarly. I use it often in my writing. And there are many, many others that you can use in your writing. So make use of them. Spell check. Do the basic things that will enable you be an effective writer. Question: what challenges do you face in your professional writing? You're going to answer that for yourselves. Write down 2, 3 answers to that question. What challenges do you face in your professional writing? And what challenges do you detect in the professional writing that you receive? Can we get some answers? We'll get 3 answers from the room and 2 from our online group. What challenges do we face?
Yeah. Yes, in the writing, the challenges I miss moving from introduction to the body and then the conclusion. So I miss all of them up. So this is one of the challenges. How to continue smoothly and moving from idea to another according to the style of writing. Introduction, body, and conclusion.
The lady behind you. Yes, please.
The mood of the receiver. Yeah, like someone who will receive it depending on the mood. Because sometimes you mean good, but the way, because of the mood you've found them in, they will have a whole perception. So you have to really explain.
Okay,
Yeah.
the mood of the receiver. One at the back before we get the 2 from our online colleagues.
Thank you. Mine in my professional area is the language. I'm meant to minister and to deliver a message to many people. So sometimes you write English, others will say, Simanji Lusungu. Then the others, so that is a big challenge to me. The kind of language that I'm using, it is, I would say it's a big challenge to me at many times. Thank you.
Online, please. What do we have online? I encourage you to answer. Yes, please. Go on, Penny.
Okay. Online, we have Tendo, who says that her challenge is that her writing, sometimes the message gets lost or is misunderstood. And the challenge that she has seen in other people's professional writing is that they sometimes have poor grammar. We have Tulia Hebwa, who says that their challenge is reference management. We have Oscar Boa, who says that he has no writing style, and that is his major challenge. We have Peter, who says that the challenge he faces is keeping brief, but communicating the message in full. We have Abdallah, who says that he is not confident, that his dialect suits the people that he reports to. And since they are in academia and they are professors and they are very learned from abroad. Fiona says that the challenge she faces is diction and tone. Gloria says reference writing and research. Dennis says his challenge is concentration to write. I guess lack of concentration or short concentration span. Mogisa says that his challenge is using Chat GPT. I don't know if that is a challenge or he's having issues with the tool that he's trying to use, but yes, ChatGPT. Dennis says that reading long essays is his challenge. I don't know if that is part of writing or reading. Robert says applying the right vocabulary. George says lack of reference materials. And he says some of them need guidance since they are not professional writers. Charles says that he tends to use plain English with less vocabulary, which makes his writing boring. Also, he thinks. Should I go on? There's lots of responses.
I think that's okay. We'll get back to the challenges very soon. Just keep them in mind, even the ones you have in the room, just bookmark them. We'll see how to address some of them, and guess what? Guess who has the answers to those challenges? You. You have the answers to those challenges. What I'm doing is giving you a skill set, a basic skill set. It's not all there is about writing, but it's just, let's call it a signpost, okay? A signpost in the direction to good writing. And hopefully it will make this journey lighter. It will point you in the right direction for you to be able to know where to look when you're writing better. And as you know, in 1 hour, we can't talk with writing at the university. Writing is a whole module that we do for 5-6 months. And we just have 1 hour. That's why I'm saying it's just, what we're doing is just a signpost, hopefully in the right direction to lift that burden so that you're not overwhelmed by this writing monster. We have a few goals that we can look at. There are about 4 that can help us on our journey to professional writing. The first thing that we can do is to focus on the reader as a customer. I think I've already said this. Focus on the reader as your customer. Someone said you can't tell the mood of the person. One of the challenges you're facing is you can't tell the mood of the person who's going to read this. My challenge to you is that pretend you like this person, even if you don't. And pretend that you're going to serve them well and you're going to do a good job of your writing. Will you do that for me? Focus on the reader as a customer and you're trying to solve their problem. That problem might be different depending on where you're placed, depending on the institution that you're working, depending on the document that you are writing. But my challenge to you is to focus on that customer and focus on serving them well. That boss that you don't like, send them a well-written memo. That supervisor that is hard to please, send them a well-written grant proposal. You can do it, can't you? Serve them well and inspire them. When you're writing professionally, you're providing a customer service. You're not doing them a favor. Even if I'm your supervisor and I'm rude and you don't like me and I came today after quarreling with my husband and I'm all over the place and I didn't even greet you, at the end of the day, you have a job to do. So serve that person well. Send a well-written report. I'm sure we can do that, can't we? Our second goal is to get quality writing standards. Can we get writing standards in our organizations? And some of these things, the person online said one of their challenges is ChatGPT. ChatGPT has very many advantages. Don't we know that? It can help you. It's a good place to start. Get writing standards for your organization. If they're not there, get them. Develop that one page Those 2 pages that are going to make your institution a better writer. If you're struggling with grant proposals, if you're struggling with annual reports, why don't you sit down, spend 30 minutes, 1 hour, and say, our challenge in writing is this. How can we make it better? Sometimes it's as simple as deciding between which English to use. This department is using American English. That department is using British English. Why don't you spend 2 minutes agreeing on that? In this organization, we use American English. That's a journey towards good writing. Have a clear purpose for your writing stated up front. Have a content well presented, etc. Did you get the first document? Shalom, was the first document circulated? Do we have a document that was circulated to us? Can we spend 5 minutes reading it? Oh, okay. Wow. Online audience, we're now looking at the first document that was sent to us. We're going to spend about 3 minutes. I think we should be able to finish it in 3 minutes. 5? Okay, let's take 5 minutes. It's in our WhatsApp group. Let's take 5 minutes to read through that document. Don't comment on it, just read it as it is. Do we have it here? Not now, later on. We'll discuss it later. Right now, let's just go through it. All right, we've read that document. It's a professional email. Bookmark it. We'll get back to it in a few minutes. Our second goal is to develop quality writing standards. We've talked about that, isn't it? And one of the things that writing standards help us with is to make sure that our content is well expressed, that the subject is clear, the attitude is good, and that is customer focused and in an appropriate tone, among others. Quality writing standards also help us have a complete or relevant details in what we're writing, and also a good layout. Pay attention to the structure. I think it's what he was talking about, your introductions, your body, your conclusions, and even simple things like sentences. Keep them short, keep them simple. If you need to have points in paragraphs, do. Simple things like that. So now let's look at that document again and critique it. Look at it, critique it, even for our online colleagues. Look out for the purpose. We'll have two people tell us what the purpose or the main point of the document is. Two people will tell us what they like about that document, and two people will tell us what they suggest the writer to do to improve it. Where should we start? With the online colleagues or in the room? I like that. Here I am, Lord, send my sister. What is the purpose? What do you think is the purpose of that document, of that email? Online colleagues, you've been nominated. Are you ready with the purpose of the document? We start here, okay? Yes. Yes, Mwonge. The purpose is to have the accounts of the company well explained for financial communication. You see how clear that document is. Mwonge has given us 3 purposes of that document so far. That's how clear that document was. Did you get that? Did you get that? Mwonge, can you repeat your answer, please? I'm not saying that you're wrong. I'm just trying to emphasize the importance of good writing. Can you repeat your answer? Okay, a very well explained financial document to the financial position to the stakeholders. Thank you. Yes, please.
My name is Ezra, Ship 8. The purpose of the communication to me is to communicate properly reconciled financial statement regarding the accounts of the company.
To communicate properly?
To reconcile properly.
To reconcile?
Properly.
Properly?
Yes. Proper reconciliation of the financial statements of the company.
Proper reconciliation of the financial statement of the company. Thank you. One last one. Ship 17 lady. How come I didn't get the memo of wearing black and white today? It was a ship 17 thing. Oh, I feel left out, but it's okay.
Beatrice Naultaya from ship 17. The purpose of this, of the communication was reconciling the books of accounts.
reconciling the books of accounts. Okay. Online colleagues, before we get back to the room. The purpose, Tendo said to communicate about the status of the accounts receivable. Robert says status of accounts receivable. Ben said the document is brief and straight on point. Ben and I need to talk. Ben, you owe me a coffee. Dennis Lumumba says Angela is meant to reconcile. Okay, they keep loading. Then he said, Angela is meant to reconcile the accounts receivable, perform her duties in a timely manner. However, you have to struggle to understand that the writer is actually communicating. There is lack of flow and clarity. Vincent says issue identification. It clearly identifies and outlines the problem of excessive accounts receivable amounts which need attention, highlighting the financial implications and urgency due to the upcoming end of year financial audit. Actually, Vincent points out one of the issues in that communication, that there's an end of year audit coming up. The purpose is to retain a capable leader in the company. That's Charles. Charles, we are laughing at you. But Charles is actually correct. He is. When you read this message, Charles has a point. Of the many ramblings that are going on, there's mention of someone who is actually doing his work. It's just that that mention is buried under a lot of rubble, isn't it? Ruth says it's confusing. It's like she's asking the person to reconcile, but goes ahead to tell them that they've delegated someone else. Ruth is as confused as I am, but I don't blame her. Then we'll take one last one from the online. Then Cuthbert says is to direct the new employee to reconcile the accounts. However, the instructions are clearly given. I kept reading even when the document has ended. This is someone else who owes me a coffee. Wow. Do we have any other two pressing ones in the room? Yes. What do you like? Can we have someone telling us what they like about that document?
First, I think I didn't like it.
Okay.
This person is somehow complaining and is trying to compare Angela with another John. In other words, she's telling this person, you don't know how to do your job. So it's more of complaint. It is more of belittling the other person. Although they are telling them to come in line and reconcile the statements. So he started saying, there is another recruit that has just come. The other one, he says, this is something that I will not do myself. The other one, he says, please do this one because John can also do better. So I think this one is just a way of telling you are doing nothing.
Okay. What do we like about this document?
It's okay. I think mine, I do not like it because I would say one person is, what I can see, is addressing concerns regarding outstanding accounts. This is like within the organization, and then this other person is asking, like, they want to communicate the urgency of reconciling these accounts again before the audit, the financial year ends. And then there's also the question of they want to know the financial standing of the organization in time so that action is taken. Those are just my thoughts.
Okay. It seems no one likes this document. Apart from the two who owe me coffee, no one likes this document. There's something you like about it.
I have the mic.
Who has, okay.
Yes, I want to say what I like about the document. This individual has managed to pour out themselves. That's what I like about the document. They have really poured out themselves. And I think to whom it was addressed, much as it is not professional, they really understood exactly who they are dealing with. Thank you.
They are in no doubt about where the other person stands. The person behind you had a burning, okay. What do you like about the document?
Yeah, thank you. I'm Joseph Okin one again.
Oh,
Yes,
Joseph.
What I like about this document is that Ron has addressed to Angela about the challenges in the accounts. He has even gone ahead to put figures there that she's supposed to work on. The figures are there. Even the deadlines and whatever is supposed to be done, they're also there. So it makes the document clear. I think those are the parts that I like, although the other side is also there. Thank you.
Okay. Let's move on very quickly. Those who have comments, much appreciated. I'm sure you'll continue the discussions in your groups. Someone online says they like the document because it appreciates Angela's new recruit. That is John Mwai online. Guess what? Everything you've said about this document is correct. Everything about financials, everything about a new recruit, it's all there. But it's buried under a lot of rubble. And it needs to be unearthed. It needs to be clear. Even the person who said that the receiver of this message knows where they stand with this person. Even that is correct. Do you know that professionally there is room for emotions? There is room for the person you're supervising to know that you're not happy with your work, isn't it? There's room for the person that you're supervising to know that you're happy with their work. But that feedback should be given professionally. Tell them we have a new recruit, John, and this is what he can do, and mention their professional skills. Don't mention John in reference to Jane and Angela and Peter. You understand? So all of what you have said is correct. It just needs to be aligned in a professional way. We have 10 minutes. Goal number 3, make use of an effective process. You need a process as you're writing, and this can be as professional or outlined as a plan, a design, a draft, a revision, depending on the documents that you're working with, but it can also be personal. When are you writing? What time do you wake up to send this document? When you're writing, what I do when I'm looking at a document, for example, is to block out time. I'm looking at a document for 1 hour. In that 1 hour, I'm not checking email. I'm not looking at my phone. I'm not doing anything else. I'm writing this document. For you, it could be 5 minutes. It could be 30. It could be 2 hours, depending on your work and what you're working on. So make sure that you have a process that works for you, but is effective in delivering clear writing. Let's briefly look at what a document should have. It should have the purpose of the document. What do you want to accomplish? Before you write that email, what do you want to accomplish? Do you want to abuse Angela? Do you want to praise John? Do you want to have audit report ready? Do you want to have finances ready before the financial year ends? Make up your mind. You know how these young people say choose a struggle? Choose a struggle. Why are you writing? Don't abuse Angela, then call off Anne, then praise John, then financial reports. Choose a struggle in your writing and stick to that struggle. What do you want your readers to know? What do you want them to feel? Like I said, there's room for emotions in professional writing. Do you want to praise that person that you're supervising? If someone has done a good job, tell them.
Tell John that since they came on board, your financial report has never been the same. Praise John. And if John has done something wrong, find a safe professional space to call him out and tell him, John, the financial report is really not in order because of A, B, C, D, and this is what we can do to improve. But why are you including Angela and Anne and Shalom and you understand? What resources do you have when you're writing? Make use of these resources. Do you have a guideline? Do you have a Hansard style guide? Do you have a newspaper guide? What resources, what tools do you have? Like I said, I use Grammarly. And with Grammarly, you can do anything, even produce a PhD thesis. Think of your readers and list them. Because you might be writing an email and it has a number of people. That email is going to the CEO, it's going to the people that are giving you money, it's going to your, maybe to the press, and it's going to the people that you're supervising. So you can list them and include them as you're addressing this document. A document plan is useful because it will help you clarify expectations for the things that you're doing. It will help you define a complex task. Do you know that most of the time we write and we assume we know what we are doing when we don't? Don't overthink it. I mean, Shalom keeps telling me, don't create a monster. So I'll tell you, don't create a monster, but think it through. Think about that task before you write that document. Give yourself 5 minutes and plan. Plan that grant proposal, plan that newspaper article, plan that press release. Plan that document. It will help you overcome writer's block, procrastination, and also help you collaborate with others. We all need help. We all need help in our personal lives. We all need help in our professional lives. Call to John and tell him, you know what? I know very little about procurement, but before this proposal goes out, I want you to look at it. That's how you learn. You call Rachel. I know very little about statistics, but before this request goes out to the CEO, can you help me look at the statistics? She will help you make sure that your 1 + 1 is equal to 2. Collaborate with others, identify a relevant tool. We've seen that. You have a second document that was sent to you. It's a document plan. It helps you think through. It's something that I'm going to encourage you to think through as you work through your professional documents. It's not written in stone, but it's just to bring clarity to this whole process and sit down and reflect on the things that you want to do and how you can send out a document, whether it's for a scholarly report or a professional writing. So you can think through either a document that was recently assigned to you, a document recommending how to improve meeting efficiency at your workplace, a document you have been putting off for a while, a document recommending a solution to a problem. These are examples that you can use. Maybe you'll find time in your shifts and use the plan that we've looked at earlier to work through a specific document. And this is relevant in all the things that you've been, even the questions that you've asked about, the challenges that you're facing in writing. So the first stage was planning. The first stage of writing was planning. The second stage is designing. Make sure that your reader knows what you're talking about in the first 10 seconds. Then summarize your to-do statement. Include deadlines for action. John wanted this report by when? From Angela. 30th June. Include the deadlines, prioritize key points, put sections. I think this would be helpful for you as well. The question that you asked about writing. And then at the end, restate your purpose. This can be shared with you and then you look through it later on. Put sections and paragraphs to separate ideas. When you're separating ideas, another thing that you can use is something called transitions. An idea has ended and you're moving on to the next one.
And transitions is not rocket science. It's the words that you use, simple words like further to the above. You move on to the next point. Secondly, thirdly, so that the other person knows that after you fought with John, secondly, you're fighting with Angela, thirdly, you're fighting with Anne, and finally, you want that report by 30th June. Do we have time to do this subject, to do this? Or we move on to the questions? We don't. All right. When you're drafting, try and brainstorm through your ideas. Don't have a draft, but don't edit as you write. First have a first draft. Try not to edit it as you write. Come back to it later on. Usually what I do when I'm writing a first draft of something, I write it, forget about it, and come back the following day. Another thing that I encourage professionals to do, I'm not an IT person. Is there an IT person here? Is there an IT person here before I poison you properly? This is not professional IT advice, but one thing that I've learned to do is shut down my laptop. When I finish the workday at whatever hour of the day or night I finished it, close all your documents, close all the apps, and shut down your laptop. When you come back and open that laptop again, you're fresher. As opposed to when you come back and you're simply restarting it, and your eyes land on the first paragraph on which you were stuck yesterday. You understand? So when you shut down your laptop, it rests, but for me, I found that my mind also reboots. So that when I open this document again, I'm looking at it with a fresh perspective. Ask for help. Then revise. I said you come back to revise, look at the grammar, look at punctuation. Do we have time to briefly look at the challenges that we had? No, okay. So this is a general recap of the things that we've looked at, okay? Good writing is the same as good customer care. Readers take 10 seconds to decide whether they want to read your document or not. So use your first 10 seconds well. Write for your readers and not for yourself. Someone asks, what if they're in a bad mood? It is your job to write for that reader in a bad mood. If a document looks hard to read, guess what? It is hard to read. Read, 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 and write, write, write. Remember what Tiger Woods said? Practice. The more you practice, the luckier you become. The more you write, the better writer you become. Revise your writing. Before you send that email, take 3-4 seconds to read through it. Yes, I think that's it, Penny.
You are a wonderful audience. I thought I would start with, shall we give her a thunderous PML applause? Shall we? Shall we give her a thunderous PML applause? I am more comfortable speaking while standing. Probably has something to do with my height, but I have been asked to take a seat, to calm down. Michelle, may I please have another microphone? Friends, I told you at the I told you at the beginning that I was looking forward to sitting down and drinking from this deep well of knowledge. How many of us have been disappointed? Okay, how many of us have surely learned from Dr. Anne? Dr. Anne, we are very, very grateful. Thank you very much for taking time and sharing from your vast experience and teaching us how to write professionally. We are truly grateful. How many of us have read Dr. Anne's bio that was shared on the WhatsApp group? For those of us that have not read it, I'm giving us 30 seconds and I am actually timing. I would like all of us to look at her bio. It is very rich. The reason I kept shaking my head when you asked if we had time to delve into what we had already looked at was because I was hoping, I'm hoping that you're reading, by the way, was because I was hoping, Anne, that you'd give us a little more of your time and speak to us about career growth, about your personal experiences actually in public service. These wonderful people here have some questions. The reason I'm giving them a moment to look at your bio is so they know where you have been, what you have done, and they can ask relevant questions, questions that will help them grow as you have grown. Friends, this is the time when we can ask Dr. Anne anything, not just about professional writing, but about professional growth. This is the time, friends, and our 30 seconds are up. Do we have some questions?
My name is Doreen. One of the challenges is that sometimes when I'm writing a document, like I find myself writing repetitive words. How can I avoid that?
This is a setup. Penny didn't tell me that we would have this session, but she will pay later. It is well. Doreen, how do you avoid repeating yourself? One of the slides was about setting the purpose for your document. Why are you writing? And also clarity. You have to make sure that you're putting your point across very clearly and very, very simply, but also depending on why you're writing. Is it scholarly writing or professional writing? Because if it's professional writing, you can state your purpose in 1-2 paragraphs and get it done. If you're using the same words, then you can use your spell checker and look for a synonym, get synonyms and also read out what you've written loud. If you read it out loud to yourself, you will notice that, this doesn't sound right. I need to replace this. I need to delete this. So get in the habit of reading out loud. If you're in a shared office, you probably don't have the luxury of reading out your reports, but you can read it out loud to yourself inside your head and you will catch what doesn't make sense and what does. I don't know if that helps, Doreen.
Okay, thank you very much, Anne. I am going to take a set of 3 questions. I hope that's all right with you. Then you answer them at once.
So my name is Sandra. I happen to be a writer, and I usually struggle with where to end my writing, especially for news articles. When I start writing, I feel like there is a lot more that I am dipping, like getting, because let's say you're writing about the American Center, and every time you put a paragraph, there is something that comes in. So I struggle to find where to end. And then the other issue is between public and human interest.
Thank you so much. My name is Julius Kawis. I am glad the example you gave for the publication was an email because this is something I do on a regular basis. And I could see what happens. I know sometimes we've done some of these mistakes, mixing up things. So your guidance has helped me so much. So I'm not asking, but I'm thanking you for that help.
Yeah, Barbara Mbakure. Me, I would want to know whether you also offer writing guide to someone that would want to start their career in writing, because I believe I have a very beautiful story that can impact so many, especially the young. But every time I try to write, I get bored along the way. I don't know what next. But then I have a full story. Like I can even stand and just talk to myself as if I'm talking to someone. But when it comes to writing it, I am always blown away. So I don't know that I can get hope in that.
Okay.
And the third question, the other one was appreciation. So it wasn't a question. The third question.
Thank you very much, Joshua. I believe, yes. Okay. No. All right. So I believe leaders are readers, and when you read, you learn to write. Is it okay to like copy a writing style? If I read a lot of Shalon's books, she has two so far, can I copy the way she writes? And I, is it okay to copy a particular trend of writing, like the people you're reading, right?
Thank you very much for the wonderful questions. Over to you, Anne.
Thanks. Sandra, where to end? I would encourage you to focus on one subtopic. You can have a large topic, say the American Center, but then decide to departmentalize that. And for one article, you can focus on the PML program at the American Center. That's okay. Then you write another article next time about study abroad opportunities at the American Center. Sometimes compartmentalizing our writing for articles helps to overwhelm you so that you don't have one article that's talking about PML, study opportunities, a visit from the American ambassador, all of that. You can have so many articles, which also gives you as many opportunities to get published. If you have 10 articles, that's 10 publications. Human and public interest. I think that for public interest, you're better off sticking to the straight news stories, the wins, the 5 Ws and Edge. And then for human interest, you put that in feature stories. You've seen travel, her business, Pakasa, whatever. The human interest stories are more relevant in features than public stories. Barbara was asking about a writing guide. Did I get you correctly? That you find yourself talking a lot and being unable to write. There are many tools right now, even on the basic Microsoft Word application on your laptop. You can speak to it. So it records you and transcribes your text. Actually, that's what most writers are doing right now. They just speak to it. I do it myself a lot. If you have all these ideas, so you speak to your laptop, it records you, and then transcribes everything, whatever. After a while, you can get back to it and decide to compartmentalize it. But the same thing, focus. Even you might have so many life experiences, like we all do. We are mothers, we are fathers, we are sisters, we are professionals, we are reverends, all in one person. We are students, we are neighbors, we are landlords, we are tenants. It is you, isn't it? One person. You're all these things. So even in your writing, your Ifris, or you're the Ifris runaway. So when you've gotten back to those things that you've written, put them in, compartmentalize them by subtopic and say, okay, now I'm writing as Barbara, the tenant, my experiences of Barbara, the tenant, my experiences of Barbara, the landlord, my experiences of Barbara, the mother, my experiences of Barbara, the wife, my experiences of Barbara, the supervisor, my experiences of Barbara, the CEO, and then you compartmentalize like that. That's just to give you an example. I don't know if that helps. Joshua,
copying a writing style, we all read, we all write. Ultimately, it's impossible for you to copy somebody else. It is. It's not possible. You read so many things, but at the end of the day, you're Joshua. Your experiences are unique by the very fact that you're a different entity. Even after you've read 10 of Shalon's books and 100 of Maxwell and 200 of whatever, when you get down to write, it will be you. And that's things like referencing. Yes, you can say, Tiger Woods said this, Shalon said that, but ultimately we'll hear from Joshua. So don't be afraid to write because you think you're going to copy somebody else. It's impossible. She says when you copy, plagiarism catches you, but I'm sure you're not talking about that. You're talking about the question, what difference am I bringing to the table in my writing? A lot of difference. Many people have heard from somebody else, but now they want to hear from Joshua, and they will hear from you.
Question. We are taking the next set of 3 questions. We have Esther and Sophie and oh, the microphone's back.
Thank you. I have a challenge. I find it so difficult to differentiate the language, the scholarly language, and let me say the program language. How can I make my communication so easy, specifically when I'm writing a scholarly article and when I'm writing a project, let me say project report? Then also, I'm also picking interest in the public. Can I public? No, not public management. Let me say, if I'm writing an article to the public, also I want to understand how can I differentiate those 3 languages? Are they similar or they're totally different? Then the second question is, which sites would you recommend for me to go and check on where I can post my articles when I'm done writing them, specifically for the publications? Thank you so much. Over.
Thank you. My name is Sophie, and I would love to know how best do I write a proposal that I'm supposed to present to big funders like USAID. And if I have to read through and through, when do I say I'm now sure this is the best and it can compete and win? Thank you.
My name is Balla Masood. Journalism, the function of journalism, as I know, is, to make sure how to allow the readers or the people access to information. And it is done, this function, it is done in a style of like breaking news. So you don't think this will be at the expense of deepening the information, or let the reader, will not be minus of the teaching the receiver or the reader. Instead of, this is just my question, because how can we do the same jobs at the same time?
Thank you. Over to you, Anne.
Thanks, Esther. For scholarly writing, the guidelines are very clear. At whatever institution that you are studying, they will tell you we use the APS style. You just have to. Unfortunately, the manuals are long, but you have to put in the hard work to acquaint yourself with the referencing style and the research style and get it done depending on the prescribed scholarly style for the institution. For project writing, it's still the same. Most projects have recommendations of what their writing should look like. And like I said, ask for help. That manager who has been at the project 5 years,
before you joined it knows what the report should look like. So ask them, how do you want this presented? After you've written 1 or 2 project papers, pay attention to feedback, because sometimes when we are writing, we get married to our output, and you put in feelings, so to speak. I did this report. For me at Parliament, we used to write like this. How could he say, but you're not at Parliament anymore. And here, they want their report like this. Just get the feedback, use it well, and write the way they want you to write at Watoto. You understand? So you write as the project requires you to do. And then your last question was about sites. I don't have anyone in any particular one that I have off the top of my head. But now self-publication is the way to go. You can put you can put on your own website, and then you can search for scholarly groups and get links. I don't have any off the top of my head, but maybe I can get your email and send you some suggestion. Sophie was asking about proposal writing. I do not speak for any institution here, but I also know that every institution has things that they're asking for. If you're submitting a proposal to USAID, everything is available on the website. The requirements are there. And half the time, most of the time, when you go through those requirements, you get it. You get it right. As professionals, I encourage us not to take shortcuts. We all do. I'm not calling anyone out. You get a proposal, something, and you're thinking, this is something I can do in 30 minutes. That is a temptation. It doesn't work like that. You have to put in the hard work. If they've told you it has to look like this, unfortunately, you have to put in the hard work and make sure that it actually looks like this. So let's challenge ourselves not to take shortcuts in our writing. And when you've put in a good application, you know it. And it shows. When you've done a good proposal, you know it. And it shows, isn't it? So let's commit to put in the hard work. Bala was asking about breaking news and depth. What I know is that you can achieve both. There's space for breaking news in the media, and there's space for depth reporting. You can report that tomorrow the traders are closing their shops because they're striking over IFRS. And then 2 days later, you put out an in-depth report of Parliament's report, what the president said about it, what the traders leaders said about it. There's room for both. You can break the news, and then the following day or in a different presentation, an opinion, a feature, you go in depth and achieve both in your writing. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Well, technology is failing once again. Thank you very much, Anne, for answering our questions. It would appear that the people in the room were so deeply impressed by your presentation that they cannot ask any other question apart from reading, apart from writing. Oh. Okay, now Anne, we have a number of questions online. The people online have paid a lot of attention to your bio. And one of them is wondering, how can they contact you? Where do you include your details for someone to contact you? I think someone here as well asked whether you can offer them private tutorials on how to write well, how to present themselves. So how can one contact you? Where do we find information about you?
My information is public on LinkedIn, but you can send me an email, ann.mugunga@gmail.com.
Do you want to say that slower so that all our facilitators can write the email in our SHIPS groups so we can contact you at will?
All right, it's Ann, ANN, dot Mugunga. Mugunga is MUGUNGA @gmail.com.
That is Anne without an E.
And without an E.
Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, and you invited us to make use of tools, and I think it is important to mention that LinkedIn is a wonderful networking tool for all of us public managers. Please make it your friend. Someone else online wanted to know how you divide your time. How do you balance work and family and excel at both?
How do I balance my time? I don't balance my time. I allocate my time, and when I'm doing something, whatever it is that I'm doing it 100%. When I'm here at the American Center talking to you people for 1 hour, I'm here 100%. When I'm doing something else, I'm doing that 100%. But on a more practical way, we all have 24 hours. And we can schedule our time depending on the things that are relevant to us. We all have different challenges. Some of us have to drop kids to school, others are mothers, fathers, whatever it is that you're dealing with. I totally understand. One thing that I do that works for me is I wake up very early. I don't know if that would work for you, but I'll just tell you what I do and then you delete as applicable, as they say. I wake up very early. I'm up by 4. The people in my household are not alive until 7. Guess what I've achieved between 4 and 7? How many hours are those?
3 quality hours.
I have 3 hours head start on everyone in my household.
And someone adds, and the world.
And the
Not just
world.
your household.
So I know some people who are late, like my husband, he sleeps really late. So he does a lot between 10 and later in the night. You understand? So it depends on your schedule. But also be purposeful about scheduling your time. There's something called blocking. I've forgotten what the technical name for it is. When you're doing something, do it. When you're at work, get your work done. Why did you get into work at 8? You had breakfast at home. Then you get into work, and the first thing you do is make a cup of tea. Why? You came to work. Put in as many hours as you can in the morning before you take your break. Why do you spend 1.5 hours talking to Shalon about the bad feedback you got from your boss? Shalon is not your boss, but you're spending 1 hour talking to her about the bad feedback you got from your boss. Why aren't you investing that 1 hour in improving on the feedback that you got? Look at your schedule and see the things that you can improve. Be deliberate about, it's very easy for us as human beings. I notice this because I'm talking to my children as well. My children are old. So they are going through work and things that is sort of doing life. And as we talk, we're saying, you know what? You know, you can think about something, but you're actually not doing it. You think about the time that you're wasting, but you're not doing anything about the time that you're wasting. I don't know if it makes sense.
It does.
So plan those 24 hours that you have and be deliberate about it. Like Shalon said, don't create a monster, but be deliberate. Know that when I wake up, I don't look at my email. For the first 3 hours of the day, I don't look at my email. So what is relevant to you? What can you change? And yeah, I don't know if that helps.
I think it really does. I feel that you might need to say a word or two about social media because you're talking about looking at email. Many people, when they wake up, the first thing they do is look at their phone, WhatsApp, and then go to groups, and then go to status updates. And then would you then say that it is important to factor in time for personal entertainment or social media engagement? As you're planning your 24 hours, should you plan for that as well? Or do you let it roll as it comes? In the middle of the day, I send you a message about the kids at school, then someone else sends another message, then someone sends a message asking for some money. Should one plan to attend to social media as and when, or should we have a time blocked out just for that?
Like I said, we're all doing life differently. So you have to think about what is relevant to you. You can say, I'll just block out a time for the phone, and that's not practical. Maybe for your workplace, maybe you're a mother, you need to hear from that kindergarten at any one time. So my point, bottom line, be deliberate. Be deliberate. Why are you picking up that phone in the middle of writing the report that you're supposed to be writing? Be deliberate generally, because you can't say, I'm not going to pick my calls until midday. That's not possible.
True.
You can't say, I'm not going to answer any email before 10. That might not be possible. You understand? But be deliberate. When you receive that email at 10:30, why are you responding to it right now? Think, be deliberate. Is it something that you can respond to at 5 before you clock out? Why are you responding to it at 10:30? Is it because it's urgent, or because you want to give Anne a piece of your mind? You
Most
understand?
probably the latter.
So be deliberate. Be deliberate. Where you are, look at yourself. I don't want to tell you, do this at 8, do this at 10. No, we're all doing life differently, but be deliberate. Be deliberate about your use of social media, about your use of time, about the way that you interact with others, about the way you respond to your coworkers, and things like that.
Okay, thank you very much, Anne. And now someone is wondering, of the many, I'm sure, fulfilling things you have done, your entire career journey, which aspect have you found most fulfilling and why? We saw that you have done many things.
That's a tough question. But I think the most fulfilling, I would say, is being a teacher. And that is not even in the classroom context, because I've been a Sunday school teacher, a kindergarten teacher, a university lecturer, a supervisor. So I say teaching generally, seeing someone become different. I wouldn't say better, seeing someone become different because of the time that you have spent with them. Have you ever had that one person that you supervise and you're thinking to yourself, wow, then he took the feedback that I gave her and she improved her report. Doesn't it give you joy? Or Anne used the feedback that I gave her in her application and she got a better job. Doesn't it fulfill you? Or seeing that kindergarten child, I'll give an example of one who had a problem with sucking her thumb. She was 4 years old. She was like, I really, teacher, and I really don't know how I'm going to stop this. And I told her, you know what? It is possible. We can do this. But how do I stop it? I told her, every time you come to school, when you arrive to school, you have to take your thumb out of your mouth. So she would give me a daily report. Teacher Anne, I didn't suck my thumb today for 30 minutes. I said, wow, good job, keep going. And then now she has stopped it completely. The mom doesn't know how. The mom is shocked that the child actually stopped doing this. But what am I saying? Making a difference in someone's life and making them different. In that one aspect, that person that you're supervising, make them a better report writer. Make them a better accountant. Make them a better timekeeper. Let them know that it's possible to come to work on time. They'll say, you know what? It's Sarah who told me to come to work on time. It's Peter who told me that I can leave 10 minutes later than everybody else, but meet all my deadlines. Making a difference.
Wow. And these 2 hours you have invested in us, I am sure they have made us better, haven't they? You are wonderful. Now, someone else online is wondering, in your experience, and what are some of the key skills and qualities that have contributed to your success in your career?
I'm not sure, but I'm thinking being dependable. You know, it's important for the person in your team to know that they can rely on you to do sometimes even simply what you're paid to do. You know that there are many people who don't do what they're paid to do. Someone comes to your organization, begs you to give them a job as their procurement officer, and they simply don't do it. And you struggle with appraisals, you struggle with supervising this person, you wonder whether you should fire them after the second month. They cannot be relied upon to do what they're supposed to do. So my challenge, I think, to all of us is to be relied upon to do what we have said we're going to do, what we have been paid to do. We might not like the people that we're working with, but you've been paid to do this job. Do it and do it well. Be reliable, keep time. Time is one of one thing that is that's important to me. I'm the principal of NETSA International School, and when we start the meetings, when we had just started, we just started in 2 years ago, and would call meetings, and the parents would say, "You said 8, nah, they'll probably start at 8:15." And at 8 would start. So now they say, "Oh my goodness, you'd better come to that meeting on time. That woman said 8, you'd better get there 5 minutes before time." So keep time, be reliable, keep time, and work to uplift the people in your team. Don't go to, I talk to a few young people these days and they say, "I don't like so-and-so," or "I'm not friends with so-and-so." You don't have to be friends with a person that you're working with. Don't go to a workplace to make friends. If you do make friends, bless the Lord. But if you don't, it's not wrong. You have a job to do. Get there, even if you don't like Anne, submit your report on time. Even if you don't like Philip, you have a job to do. You understand? So be reliable, keep time, and keep learning. Keep learning, help others along the way. Everyone is struggling with something. So that boss that is rude to you, maybe their child is sick and you don't know about it, be kind to them. They are struggling with something. Everyone is struggling with something. Even if they are at the top of the organization, everyone needs help. Everyone needs help. Yeah.
Wow. Very deep and challenging. And finally, from online, what do you find most rewarding about mentoring others? And how do you approach mentorship in your professional endeavor?
I think I've already said it, making people different in the things that they have done. I'm very deliberate when I'm employing somebody or supervising somebody. The simple things like someone knowing what they expect from you. You know, it's let's make our expectations clear. Don't just throw the TORs at somebody and tell them, "You're the accountant of this place. I want the annual report at this time." You know, have a conversation with them and let them know that you are interested in what they are doing. Tell them, "So-and-so, you're the accountant. We need this report at this time. We need you to report at this time." Some things are not as obvious as we think they are. Someone will turn up to work, and for him, well, you ask him for a grant proposal next month, he will dilly-dally with it. And you're stewing, you know, you're stewing, you verbalize your expectations of the people that you're working with. Verbalize your professional expectations and tell them, "This is what I need from you at this time," and ask them often, "How can I help you? How can I help you with the report that you're working on? How can I help you with the financials? What do you need?" Sometimes
Your accountant needs a desk calculator. Seriously, but you wouldn't know that if you don't talk to them. Sometimes your procurement officer needs a box file, people. It costs 7,000 shillings. But you wouldn't know that if you don't talk to them. So talk to the people that you're supervising, talk to the people that are in your team about your profession. I'm not talking about your personal things. Don't download your personal stuff on your workmates unless it's a safe place and you have a rapport with this person. Have a professional discussion about the expectations of the team and the people that you're working with. And then the ones that I'm mentoring, I choose at least 2 people every year. I mentor at least 2 people every year. Most of the time it is more, but I'm deliberate about 2 people. And I walk with them, I have this conversation with them about what we expect from each other. Sometimes it's as simple as someone wanting you to look through their CV. And that is all they need from you that year. So you have this walk with them, you work through CVs, you work through their job applications, and they move on. Then you get somebody else. And what they expect from you is for you to look at their research proposal. And you do that, and they move on. Then you get somebody else. What they need from you is how to care for their child with disabilities. They just need you to pray with them. That is all. So you walk with them. That journey might be 1 year, 2 years, 3. They move on. You get somebody else. Be deliberate. Don't get 100 people and you're not relevant to these 100 people. Be deliberate. Get 1, 2 people and say, this year I'm working with Penny, and our journey is about job applications. Our journey is about getting this child through kindergarten. Our journey is getting this child to university. I have one of my mentees for last year. We are ending our relationship on Tuesday next week. And we end our relationships formally. That doesn't mean we don't communicate, but the journey that I've walked with her is ending on Tuesday next week. So we celebrate the ending of this journey and she moves on to something else. Do you understand? So be deliberate.
Wow, Anne, wow. How are you ending the journey? Are you celebrating? Is there an end of journey celebration? That's my personal thing, my personal wondering, really. Finally, I already said finally from online. Now finally from online within. People are sending me text messages to pass on questions to you. What advice would you have for someone that is aspiring to do a PhD?
What advice would I offer? Very specifically choose a topic. Be very careful about the PhD topic that you're choosing, because you're going to be married to it for at least 3 years. So be careful before you choose this topic. Research around the universities that you're targeting and make connections with the professors at that university. Because when you submit, you've chosen a topic and you're submitting this proposal, it's best if one of the professors at that university is interested. So look out for their interests. If you're interested in social justice, don't just go to UCU and assume they have social justice supervisors there, okay? So what are the research interests of the supervisors, of the professors of the universities that you're targeting? When you find out those research interests, your entrance there is much easier because the professors want to take on people in their area. You want to do maternal health and you're submitting this to a university that does not even have a professor that specializes in maternal health. You understand? So make sure that you research around the universities
and the research interests of the professors that you're targeting. Thirdly, the PhD will take everything out of you. It will take everything that you have to give. It will take your time. It will take your money. It will take your resources in terms of social support. It will take your faith. It will take your belief in yourself. You'll start to question yourself and say, wait a minute, I thought I knew some statistics. How come I'm faced with this? I thought I knew English. How could someone return my paper to me like this? So get ready to do the hard work. It takes a lot out of you. Get ready to do the hard work. But guess what? It's possible.
Indeed, being called doctor doesn't come cheap, does it? We thought it was just medical doctors that sacrifice a lot, but it turns out that Dr. Ann, PhD, is just as complex as Dr. Joshua, MD, right? Okay, friends, the depth of Ann's knowledge and experience is impressive. Her well is truly, truly deep. She has given us her email address. She has told us where to find her on LinkedIn. Dr. Ann, we are truly grateful. Thank you very much. Shall we appreciate her? Beautiful, beautiful. Shall we appreciate Shalon for sharing with us her wonderful, wide social capital, for bringing Ann to us? Everyone, PML applause for Shalon. And shall we appreciate Rachel and the American Center for having us, Juliana and Namara. Thank you so very much. Shall we give them a PML applause? Thank you very much. I will now invite Shalon to say a final word to Ann. I have, oh, modesty doesn't allow me. Okay, I am going to invite Rachel to come together with Shalon. You see, they are matching today. They are in blue and white together. Rachel and Shalon to say a final word of gratitude to Dr. Ann. Please, over to you.
Dear friends, this girl is such a bully. For me, the things I enjoy, we did at the start. You remember? We did these things at the start, and now it is Rachel's turn. Rachel was seated there last year. You must be aware. Are you aware? You're not. Now I'm informing you that last year, Rachel was seated there. Every single Saturday, except once in November, she was here. And she was the first to be here. Now, every time I saw Rachel, I knew she was simply being kind to the program because of her schedule, which is very busy, and of her level of importance in the country. But she was committed to go through the process and trust it. And what is our process? You come go through our program, and then we send you out to multiply. Our equation here, we do not know division. We don't know subtraction. In fact, we don't even know addition. We deal in one equation. It's multiplication. And so Rachel takes on our flagship program and leads us every single day with zeal, with commitment to multiply this effect across the country, across the region. So Rachel, thank you for the opportunity you gave me today to shine. And now I would like to ask you to take over. But friends, sincerely clap once. 2 times, no, clap once. Clap once, clap twice, 2 times. Okay, we are going to do it afresh. Clap once, clap twice, 3 times. That's the PML club. No, the vigor.
Shalom. She wants everybody to shine with her. That is the Shalom we have with us. So we are so blessed to be living her dream, because this was her dream, as you've heard her story. So we are all privileged to be a part of her story, and she's permitting us to write our own stories as we go forward. And at this juncture, she has requested me to do the needful. If you've been here before or online, you know that it's our culture to show our gratitude to our facilitators. So we would like to extend appreciation from each one of you and from the Franklin Institute to Dr. Anne Mugunga for always giving us the best. I think if we sat here, we would still get more and would not even be filled. So Anne, thank you. And you know that we shall be back. We shall be knocking at your door. And I know that the people who have taken your contact are actually going to contact you. People have seriously thought about this writing skill. I sat here last year and I took the notes. And I was very touched by, because I also enjoy good reading. And the position I hold has an element of editing. My people have to write something and I have to sign against it. And I always have issues. So I don't know if it's about our styles or what, but thank you so much. We are all learning as leaders. And allow us to present to you a small gift as a token of appreciation from the Franklin Institute. And I will ask Shalom to assist me. Shalom, please come. Shalom has been my friend for a long time, and so I'm not bullying her. So Shalom, please assist me as we all congratulate Anne for sharing with us this morning. Please do the needful. Thank you very much, Anne, and greetings to your family for allowing you to give us part of your time and your knowledge. In the same way, I would like Shalom to pass on a certificate of participation to Dr. Anne Mugunga. I will allow you to read the content.
Dr. Anne Mugunga, thank you for facilitating the Public Management and Leadership Program at the American Center for the 2023 cohort. Your shared experience and wisdom contributed immensely to the participants' continuous growth in service to the public. Signed by Shalom and Ellen Massey, the Public Affairs Counselor for the U.S. Mission, Uganda. Thank you, Dr. Al.
Yes. Thank you very much. We are products of your work. And at this juncture, I would like to remind us that we should be out of here in a few minutes, but we also have our tradition of taking a group photograph. So I'm going to request the people in the photography section to tell us what to do. We usually now face this side, so we're not going to let anybody get up. We're just going to fix a few chairs at the front and have this picture taken. Please remember that our next physical session is on 18th May at the American Center, and choose and plan to be here with us. I want to thank you very much for coming in today. We apologize that we had to interrupt the last bit by allowing you to take a cup of tea, because we must respect the American Center schedule. We must be out by midday. So for those who haven't yet picked it, please do quickly pick it immediately after the photograph. And would like to thank you. And for those who have not registered, please make sure registration is very important for the completion of this program. So take time to check if you've registered.
Excellent.
Thank you.
I'd like to request Timothy to remove these tables. Timothy is our camera person today. And I'd like to ask our ambassadors, the ship facilitators, to occupy the front row of this photo. So we are going to put another row here and ask us to push up a little behind. I'd like my ambassadors to come to the front row. We are going to add another row here, and then we will take this photo. Dr. Ann, please, a chair. I think we could put these chairs as well. Yeah. I need all the ambassadors on the front row.
Want to thank you, American Center, for hosting us and for making it happen every other month. Thank you,
Yes.
Juliana, and your team.
And our friends online. Today, we had about 20 on YouTube. We were full capacity on Zoom. Now I think our friends have dropped off. Would like to bid you farewell. Thank you for being part of the program this morning. We'll see you on Wednesday in the ships, and next month on 18th here at the center. I'm coming. Dear friends, we do not have many opportunities to appreciate the Franklin ambassadors, without whom this program cannot happen. A lot of work is done behind the curtains, and we are looking forward to having you on this side. So every time I see your faces, I am seeing a ship's facilitator, a Franklin ambassador. I'm seeing us, and I can't wait to have you graduate and cross over. You know that we are more than these that are here, but if we let all the ambassadors come, you would not fit. So we also come in turns, but we are looking forward to having you cross over to becoming ambassadors of this program. I'd like to see all my members seated, and then I'll sit. You can see Rachel? You can't see Rachel. Where do we need to make an adjustment?